Most GTA San Andreas players are more interested in the whole story related to the gangs in Los Santos in terms of the plot itself. On the other hand, other moments of the storyline are treated as a kind of complementation, which is why they are somewhat omitted and underestimated. The threads that we learn with CJ during his stay, whether being in San Fierro or Las Venturas, have a really interesting backstory, which is simply worth paying more attention to, at least in our opinion. Furthermore, when you take a closer look at everything, you can quickly see that Rockstar tried to polish these stories in many ways. That is why today we are going to talk about one of the plot stages that we get to know during CJ's stay in the Las Venturas area. While discussing this topic, we will try to answer the most interesting questions, such as what exactly was the whole arrangement of the Liberty City crime families regarding the business in Las Venturas? Welcome back to the Gaming Investigators channel, and without further ado, let's get to work. The first part of the episode will be devoted to presenting what the entire agreement between the mob families was supposed to look like. Sometime before the events of GTA San Andreas, the Sindaco family is asking the Leones for financial help to start a business involving Caligula'S casino in Las Venturas. Johnny Sindaco asks Salvatore Leone for $5 million in exchange for a share of the casino stake. The representative of the Sindaco family also reports that the Don of his organization wants to unite all crime families in Liberty City.
You want $5 million of my money?
I want to help you make a fortune, Mr. Leone. My father wants to unite our organizations.
The Sindacos and the Leones? That's impossible. That's been impossible since your associates whacked my cousin.
So, we can probably conclude that joint business in Sin City is supposed to help a lot in theory. However, the first question is whether this type of strictly business offer is profitable for Leone Mafia anyway. The answer is absolutely yes. Most of the casinos in the United States, especially those located in Sin City, that is Las Vegas, achieve cosmic revenues. For example, on the website of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, we can read that in 1992, casinos on the Las Vegas Strip made a total gross amount of nearly $4.5 billion. Moreover, the casinos generated a total cost of $391,120,789. This tells us that all casinos made a net profit of $4,072,571,705. To simplify things quite a bit, and apart from the fact that some casinos made less or more, we know from the fact that, on average, one casino made $110,069,505, which is over $9 million per month. Even taking into account the fact that it is a game world and assuming that these revenues could be much worse, then looking at the amounts we can achieve there, it is clear that the prospect of high earnings for casinos is quite nice. The investment then seems to be rather certain, as Don Leone is aware. It is true that initially, Salvatore is not eager to do this business because, in the past, the Sindacos murdered his cousin. For the sake of accuracy, we will only add that, unfortunately, we know absolutely nothing about this event. However, as we mentioned earlier, Salvatore Leone certainly saw great business potential in the Sindaco family's plans. So, he quickly forced Johnny to reveal all details. From the very beginning, Salvatore is not satisfied with what the Sindacos are offering, to put it mildly. It turns out that not only will Salvatore put a lot of money into the investment, but he will not have too much control over the running of this business. Salvatore realizes that, without access to the casino's documents, along with the books, there is a great chance that the Leone crime family will be regularly cheated by the Sindacos. Not surprisingly, the first thing Salvatore suggested was that his future partners should give him control of the books. Of course, Johnny Sindaco explains that everything has already been planned and a specific person is assigned to each position, which, in this regard, cannot meet the requirements of Don Leone. After a few disputes, Salvatore comes up with a brilliant idea, that is, to hire an independent person to be run by all three families.
I got an idea. What about a third party, an independent guy? He runs the place, and together we run him.
Oh, we can't do that, Mr. Leone. We got our guy in there already.
Get rid of him. Show me exactly how much you want my organization's involvement.
In theory, this is a very sensible solution, because in such a situation, there is a good chance that the chosen person will manage the casino equally by each of the families involved. Nevertheless, even this good option cannot be implemented as Johnny Sindaco refuses again, arguing the same as before. Salvatore knows that for his family to do well in this business, he has to give an ultimatum. Therefore, he orders Johnny to get rid of the current man acting as casino manager, Mickey, because otherwise the Leones simply will not get into this business. As we can see after some time, the Sindaco family needed financial support from the Leone family because, in the movie The Introduction, at one point, we are shown a scene in which Mickey is buried in a ditch in Bone County.
You know, I hear the Leones are lending the bosses some money.
The Leones?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. We hate the Leones.
I know. That's what I said to Johnny. Well, he said they needed the money. On a note, they dirtball. So, Mickey gets kept, so we get a new guy in, who everybody bullies.
So, we can see that Salvatore's demand has been fulfilled. In addition, two Sindaco members openly say that, while their family hates the Leone Mafia, they needed money badly as an excuse. By the way, Mickey's murder is another example in the GTA series when the Mafia breaks its unwritten code. Another example of breaking the Mafia law was the entry of the Forellis into the drug market in 1986. In both of these cases, the motive was the prospect of making a substantial amount of money. Moving on, sometime later, we see a cutscene where the Leones officially agree to organize funds for the opening of Caligula'S casino. Johnny Sindaco provided the information that the current person acting as the casino manager was taken care of.
So we got a vacancy. We kept our end of the bargain.
Then I guess we're on. You want something to drink?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Salvatore Leone, therefore, proposes that former attorney Ken Rosenberg, who used to work in Florida, could take Mickey's position. Salvatore argues that Rosenberg will be easy to fool around with so that all three families will be free to implement their ideas as far as the entire operation of the casino is concerned. Immediately after Johnny Sindaco agrees to what Salvatore has proposed, Ken is sent to Caligula'S casino. Don Leone at this time visualizes and develops his strategy, and immediately begins to implement it. We can see it in the next scene about this thread. Salvatore shows up in Las Venturas where he intimidates Rosenberg.
Johnny fucking Sindaco even so much as blinks at you, I want to hear about it. You find a way to get me my money, and fast. Understood?
Yes, understood.
It is a very good decision because Don Leone will know the plans of the other crime families, which in turn will allow him to react appropriately. Unfortunately, since the Sindaco family is not sure whether the Leone Mafia will play fair with them, Don Sindaco decides to send some of the people to Las Venturas permanently. In order not to arouse any suspicions, the Sindacos operate on the outskirts of the city and set up a fully legal slaughterhouse in Whitewood Estates to keep an eye on the casino from the distance and have close contact with the manager. As you can see, it would initially seem that Caligula'S casino was destined to be a success like many other casinos in the Las Venturas area. However, as it turns out, there are several reasons why the Las Venturas mob family's arrangement has not had the right to be successful in the long term. The first problem, which can be noticed from the very beginning of the plot in Las Venturas, is the conflict between the Sindaco family and the Chinese triad. The Sindacos approached the competition in Las Venturas quite differently than they should have. Instead of accepting that more casinos in Sin City will appear over time, probably like mushrooms after the rain, they still decided to sabotage the actions of the Four Dragons in a crappy and senseless way. Consequently, this only led to the death of Johnny Sindaco. Yes, it is quite accidental, but based on the conduct of ill-considered activities.
Who's this?
How you doing, Johnny?
It's fucking him. It's him. Oh my head. Oh God, it's him. Oh, my heart. My heart.
Damn, that nigga fucked up.
In our opinion, the Sindaco family should focus on their own business and develop their casino so that customers choose it. The growing competition in the city could de facto work in favor of Caligula'S casino. Thanks to the growing number of casinos, the city became a paradise for gamblers who came there from all over the world. As a result, every day in the city there were a whole lot of potential customers who could have left money in casinos. So, as we mentioned earlier, you should focus on developing your own business or attacking the competition, but in such a way to destroy it completely, and not just doing small bruises. The Sindacos once made a completely unsuccessful attempt to destroy one of the competitors' deliveries, and another time play a prank on one of the owners of the Four Dragons Casino by creating fake chips.
Boss, take a look at these 2 chips.
One's a fake.
That's amazing. You didn't even touch him.
Nah, I just took a guess. Why else would he come in with 2 chips and sound so worried? You take a look.
Oh yeah, the dragon on this got the sunglasses and a white stick.
Insolent bastards!
I'll make sure the cashiers are extra vigilant.
In conclusion, it was the Sindacos' fault because they were hellishly unwise and took stupid actions that provoked the Triad to retaliate. Moreover, Johnny Sindaco made another mistake. Well, he did not notify the other families that the Chinese Triad was operating in Las Venturas and could pose a threat to Caligula'S casino. As a result, at some point, there was no one to break the plans of the management of the Four Dragons Casino, which planned a casino heist, which in turn led the Liberty City mob families to bankruptcy, forcing them to abandon further investments in the city. The final obstacle to happiness for the crime families was the fact that, despite the reunion of the families, each of them wanted to gain some advantage, and still, each of them was unable to stop being duplicitous towards the others. Note that the Sindacos have relocated quite a few people to Las Venturas to keep an eye on the casino, much more than it would have been if the Mafia were managing the Liberty City business. In turn, the Leones wrapped the casino manager around their finger to keep up to date and know what other crime families are planning. Of course, this is always done to be a few steps ahead of them. On the other hand, in the intensive care mission, the Forellis are taking advantage of the fact that Johnny was hospitalized, so they planned his kidnapping, most likely to get rid of him. Soon after, the Forelli Mafia also wanted to get rid of Don Leone himself. For this purpose, they sent a plane to Las Venturas, in which some people were to carry out an effective hit. So, all in all, the Liberty City crime families were able to achieve enormous financial success by running a huge casino in Las Venturas. Unfortunately, a series of wrong decisions, a lack of self-confidence, and an eternal desire to compete led to the failure of the entire operation. The mob families have completely forgotten that, to achieve success, one must, first of all, cooperate, while wars must be fought with their greatest opponents instead of business partners. Referring to the topic discussed today, we invite you to the episode devoted to the Russian Mafia. We talked there about some interesting things from the beta content and how the Russians could obstruct Big Smoke and Tenpenny's plans. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos. Bye!